This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on the BrokenInfinite.com. That's not existing anymore.
Well done!
Well done, yeah. But we are on Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording it live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel, where we're talking about professional wrestling, both for the mainstream and the independent scene. I had it right the first week, though. I could have fucked it up then. My name's Matty Jay, that is TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm TWK of TWK Reviews. I'm here to entertain you for exactly 72 more minutes, because Matty wants to be out of here soon.
Well, that's the thing. We're trying to streamline the thing so you're not stuck here with us for 2 to 3, 4 hours. You know. And if we don't have to talk about WWE B plot schlock and just get out of here, there you go.
However, if I were to slow down the speed at which I used to talk,
you do that, you sound like me, and no one wants that. Heck, I'm not even sure I want that.
Hey, you can have a worse voice. At least you have a voice for radio.
You know what? That is very true. But then again, I've always had a voice for radio. When I started college, anyway. Before that, no, not really. Anyway.
All right, Matty, what is going on in the show? I'm confused. Tell me.
Well, you know what's going on. There was a WWE pay-per-view that, you know what? Let me surprise you folks right off the bat. I have done something that I've not done legit in 6 months, 7 months? Let's see. April, May, June, July, August, September. Yes, 7 months. 6 months at least. Watch a WWE program. No, really. When I went on hiatus, that was it. I was done with the Fed. Not even NXT could cajole me into watching stuff live or otherwise. In fact, they did so with one show, the In Your House show. That's it. And it was a good show. And so was, believe it or not, so was Clash of Champions. So we're going to talk about that. On the flip side, we have the return of the emails and comments of the week. I was going to cut them off. But goddamn it, some of you folks like us so damn much to send us emails. But if it does keep to just one email a week, I'm sorry, French Otaku. We might have to axe the show. So we might have to axe the section, because we have the comment. We have the chat over there, and they're participating, and they're talking about Rick Moranis getting punched in the face, and I'm like, oh god damn it, now what? Fucking 2020.
I know. How dare Rick Moranis run face first into that guy's fist?
D-Dub, do you really want to anger the internet? They're already livid.
You're right. Internet, there's Matty Jay. Perfect target. Have at him.
Folks, if you have any complaints, TWK's Twitter handle is on the screen now at TWK Official.
I believe you mean my Twitter account handle is @theshadesAT. That's my official new Twitter handle. Just had it changed.
You do know, look, I understand you don't want to go on the Toonami chats anymore, but you do know you're searching for a Dave now, right?
Actually, the main reason I've been on Toonami chats is because I am so far behind JoJo's.
That's pretty much one of like two things we watch now.
Yeah, like
we ain't watching.
Like
we ain't watching Toonami for the fucking Dragon balls. Super. I'm sorry.
It is super amazing.
After you watch it, when you're watching it again and realize they have like 100 episodes of this horse shit, you just go, get on with it. My God. Anyway, so yeah, we got NXT Takeover 31 as a preview, and your emails, comments, winners and losers, and all that stuff. Yeah, Billy Mitchell's going to be on the losers list. Spoiler alert. But we'll get to him later. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now, how good... Now, normally I would present a clip of the pay-per-view. And I watched it, as I said. Didn't feel like rewatching it. So I went online, looked for some highlights, all that stuff. WWE took its job very seriously, and as far as removing their shit off the internet, except for their little corner. So I did what any sensible person did: watch the wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen. To tell you exactly what happened in the last two matches, Ollie Davis of Wrestle Talk News. Take a listen.
Drew McIntyre defended his WWE Championship against Randy Orton in an ambulance match in a feud I thought was built around who could hit their finisher in the actual ring, with them not hitting either the Claymore or RKO or punt at SummerSlam, but being tied 3 apiece in attacks backstage at Raw. Instead, WWE went a different, much less subtle route, where Orton was foiled every few minutes by a different person he'd taken out with the punt. Big Show, Christian, Shawn Michaels, and even Ric Flair driving the ambulance at the end all made assists. And narratively, they were very satisfying, with Randy finally getting his receipts. But the competitiveness of the match was lost, with Orton still getting most of the offense despite having 3 different guys attack him. I was much more into the story of Randy versus Drew as wrestlers for their rematch, as opposed to Randy versus Randy's actions from the past, which would have worked better further down the line. Drew won after punting Randy's head, dangling out the ambulance. The main event slot was instead taken by arguably the most predictable match on the entire card. Blue Universal Champion and mega heel Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, taking on that guy from the tag division, Jey Uso. But it was totally the right decision, because they had one of the most emotional matches of the year. They had a terrific 20-minute plus match, with Reigns bullying Jey for the first half, for the Flying Uso to power back with dives and super kicks. It was an excellent, believable comeback, which made Roman's low blow, geniusly disguised in a kick-out, all the more dastardly. Ironically, Jey had made us believe. That's kind of Roman's thing. So he made him pay a lot. Reigns speared Jey. He could have won there, but it wasn't about getting the pin. This was about Jey admitting Roman was now the head of the family. So Reigns kept laying him forearms, punching him in the head, spearing him to the ground. And it was all done differently from the usual WWE heel. Roman wasn't yelling, he was almost calm, but Jey wouldn't give up, forcing Jimmy to throw in the towel.
All right. So, a little dry on there, but I do suggest that you go to Wrestle Talk. Ollie and Luke, they're awesome, and they're doing the whole heel authority and lukewarm Luke Owen thing, and it's funny. Put a smile on my face. DJ Maestro, he's asked in the chat, what I've been doing while on hiatus? Well, working for the most part. I'm working from home. Luckily, I'm one of the lucky few that was able to work from home.
I just kept my normal job going as always, and I've been also still making video reviews on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that is basically it. Really?
Yeah, I mean, we've been staying safe for the most part. I know T-Dub has been staying safe for the most part.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and, you know, but honestly, I just kept it to watching just AEW on Wednesdays and the off pay-per-view offering that was offered, on offer. Talking Shop-A-Mania was one of those things. The sequel's coming up in November, which goes live
have
at
fun
10.
doing a solo on that show.
Huh? You really want me to go solo on that?
That's what you told me on Twitter. You said, don't worry, T-Dub. I'll Joey Styles this bitch.
Fuck no. I said we're going to be off at 10. Like, literally, 9:55 off the air. We're literally doing a Sunday Night Heat kind of thing.
That's not what you told me on Twitter.
That's what I said on Twitter.
I don't believe you.
That's what I said on Twitter. I know I said that on Twitter.
Matty, you're starting to sound a little sus. I'm sorry. You are. God damn it, man.
Dude, I was doing all of my tasks. All my tasks are done. I did the swipe card thing. I bought the beverage for you. It was the one you told me to get, the Dr. Pete. And then the Dr. Perky. I did my tasks. What about you,
and
bud?
Thank you, Devin, for supporting Cultaholic.
Yeah, Cultaholic is awesome as well. I actually been watching a lot of Vanna Pacini's list. He's gotten better at it, man.
Oh, it's today Devin's birthday. Turning 31 tomorrow. Ooh,
31.
31.
Well, you know, normally
turning 31 right before Takeover 31. All right, it all just lines up.
That is timing, my friend. An excellent an excellent situation. And do I have a Subarashi bun? I wonder, because we gotta do the thing. That is a RVT Entertainment tradition.
There's a button that Matty must hit in order to celebrate the upcoming birthday of Devin the Great.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the Subarashi bun, but apparently I don't have it.
Happy birthday to you.
I've cut you off because you're not supposed to do that.
God damn it!
That's the buns thing. But do I even have it? My God. I should.
I've heard you use it. I know you've used
it before. I know I have it. God damn it. Did I delete it? I could not have deleted it.
I swear to Jericho, if you don't have that button, I swear to Jericho, if you delete that button, I will strangle you through the internet.
Hey, good luck doing that, pal.
By the way, I should note that I'm about to join the 30 club because that is the age I will turn later this month.
You're turning... Wow, really? You sound older, dude.
Thanks.
You sound older, like just in the voice. You know what I mean? The voice. You sound more mature in the voice.
Well, 30 is damn near middle age.
I was trying to compliment you. By the way, I found it. Devin, we gotta do this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And happy birthday to Devin the Great. Subarashi. I'm not going to hold the whole screaming thing. That's shades. Close enough. By the way, we are doing a pre-show. We're not going to go the full regular traditional WrestleCast show on that Friday because we're pulling a Sunday Night Heat on this sucker. Talking Shop-A-Mania 2. I know for a fact that I'm going to order that bitch as soon as I can. I know T-Dub's already done the pre-order or just saving up his pennies to do the pre-order. So we're going to watch that bitch on that FITE app. Fight TV. Anyway, Clash of Champions, let's get to it. From the Amway Center, the Thunderdome. Closed door set. No one in there. What's in attendance? A bunch of television screens and talking, screaming heads in Orlando. I loved how Wrestle Talk did it. The Cock Gold Rush. Clash of Champions. The pre-show, the card had to be flipped around due to a pandemic-like situation. They got it again, folks. What can we tell you? But it did give us a couple of decent changes, which is unfortunate for Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Though they did retain the SmackDown Tag Championship over the Lucha House Party over 10:45. The match opened. The night opened proper with the triple threat ladder match for the undisputed Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn won over Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. 26-35. We'll be talking about that in a couple of seconds. Asuka retained against Zelina Vega in a pretty competent 7-minute 5-second matchup. Bobby Lashley with the gentleman from the Hurt Business. He retained the U.S. Championship over Apollo Crews with Ricochet. Over there, it was by submission. 8:15. Street Profits retained their tag titles over with the match. It was Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. 10,173 armbar 4. Seriously, they've been wrestling since WrestleMania. It got old. Asuka versus... there was a situation where Bayley and Sasha Banks, they couldn't wrestle for whatever reason. Asuka did the run-in for the Open Challenge, but it was over by DQ. It was for the SmackDown Championship. The Bayley, she retained. And the co-main, it was not Drew versus Orton, but it was an ambulance match. Drew retained at 21:35 with super kicks and stuff and Big Show choke slams and all that stuff. In the main event, the most predictable thing happened, and yet, yeah, about that. That wasn't the squash, but it was a murder. Roman Reigns over Jey Uso by technical knockout for the Universal title. Okay, let's unpack this. 2 match of the nights for me. Ladder match, because they did not have to do jack shit. They just had to do like a by the numbers ladder match. I think we would have been fine with that as an opener. These guys, kind of hard to fuck up a ladder match with these three, but they went above and beyond.
Has anyone checked Jeff Hardy to discover whether or not he's still alive?
Jesus, has anyone checked AJ Styles if he's still alive? My God.
Well, he wrestled tonight, so yes, he is perfectly fine. But
yeah, of course, yeah.
I have not heard hide nor hair of Jeff Hardy, so he might be dead in the ground.
He is an ex-Hardy.
His soul has been deleted.
Yes. Delete! It's been obsolete.
Also, handcuffing him to a ladder via his earlobe. Definitely an innovative spot.
Oh, they did, okay. Again, above and beyond. They didn't have to do the extra stuff, the extra mile. But these are 3 dudes who pontificate. They exemplify. Hey, extra mile, handcuffs. Why not?
Also, Sammy somehow keeping a key in his mouth.
Something tells me there was some sleight of hand stuff going on.
Yeah, and very well done at that.
Sleight of hand and a whole lot of making sure that key was COVID-free, if you know what I mean.
And Jay-Z says Jeff has a match with Sammy later on tonight. Oh, lovely. He is still alive.
He's still alive. He lived. Despite taking horrendous ass and stupid bumps for his age. Well,
yes, Jeff and AJ Styles are in their 40s. Should technically not be bumping this hard at their age.
AJ Styles should not have been bumping that hard for a championship that mid card.
And yet, matches like these are what elevates that title.
What can we tell you? That's match of the night 1. The other one, Roman versus Jey. Maybe not on the technical side of things, but emotionally, like that could have been. This should have been a by the numbers squash match just to prove, hey, Roman Reigns is the heel. But they went above and beyond to make absolutely fucking sure that you knew Roman Reigns was a heel. And honestly, mission accomplished.
I love anime villain Roman Reigns.
So quiet. And if you need the screamy, shouty stuff, you got Paul Heyman. But when it comes to just the down to earth, all right, let's bring it back down, and I'm gonna murder your ass kind of promo. I think Roman could pull that. I think he could pull that.
Props to WWE for miking up the ring.
Oh. Then again, that probably wasn't too difficult with the sound stuff, because I'm pretty sure that that arena, you don't get to hear, or the crowd noise isn't piped into the speakers, so to speak. My guess. I mean, I think it's easier to capture the audio without a large crowd there. I'm assuming.
Yes, very much so. But you can also tell that there was some mics under the ring to make sure that they captured the audio properly.
I don't know if they were necessarily under the ring, but it definitely portrayed. There were a couple of boom mics or some good microphone placement. I do agree there. And
I really like that, because that way you could hear all of the trash talking from both guys.
Absolutely. And I think that was key. That was key. Was going to be the trash talking in this matchup. The theater of it, so to speak.
Yes, this is exactly the type of main event that I like seeing from WWE. Why is it so hard for them to give us this all the time? Like, instead of doing all the convoluted bullshit, just stick to simple stuff like this, and everything will be fine. And you won't be losing.
Kennedy McMahon
Jr.
Thank you.
Yes, like if they did more stuff like this, they wouldn't be losing like 10% of their audience year by year.
They wouldn't have lost me, and they lost me after WrestleMania.
Yeah, just keep doing stuff. Yeah, just keep doing stuff like this, and eventually your audience will return. Instead of
making it like a half-hearted attempt to make it look like you're just putting your show on Wednesday, when really all you're doing is trying to fuck up AEW's audience. Seriously, Tuesday, it's proven, it works. Move NXT there. Leave AEW alone. 2 million people watch. Well, 1.5 million people watch wrestling weekly on Wednesdays. 1.5 million on Tuesday, 1.5 million on Wednesday. Everybody wins. You make more money.
Yeah, put less effort into that, and also less effort in doing creepy shit on Monday.
Fuck.
Anyways,
Jack. Anyway, so what do you think? So yeah, those two highlight the ambulance match. Question: was that the way they set that up? Didn't it feel like a blow-off match to you?
Yeah, typically big stipulation matches are used as blow-off matches.
Like an ambulance match with everyone that Orton legend killed coming back and to bite him up his ass. The punt at the end of that match. And then at the beginning of the like at the end of the show, Randy Orton with the shittiest, with like the welding goggles to make it look like your night vision, to beat up the legends, and like, that's a blow off match.
And remember when a punt to the head kept someone off TV for at least 3 months?
And fuck, he ate 2 claymores and a punt. That's a blow off, folks. So why the fuck is Randy Orton still fucking around with legends? Phrasing. And why? To me, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, okay, fair enough. You want Orton versus Drew McIntyre for Hell in a Cell. It's obvious. But you blew it off. You blew it off with like a narratively satisfying ending.
Yeah,
job done. Orton takes a month off. Bring him back at Survivor Series for what the fuck you want to do with it. Done.
This really is a problem.
Next challenger, please.
This really has been a problem since they've gone back to the Performance Center and then now to the Thunderdome. This whole era of WWE is that they just seem to be repeating matches over and over and over again with almost every feud, especially on Raw.
This has been a problem they've had since last year. It's just been amplified even harder because of this era. Let's not pretend that this wasn't a problem before the pandemic.
Oh, it
this
definitely
was a problem
but now
way
it's infinitely
before.
worse. It is infinitely worse now.
It's just amplified to the maximum degree where people are getting fired for bullshit. And you know what? Let's just get to the news before we do anything else. What is your rating on the pay-per-view?
My rating on the pay-per-view overall, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
That's where I'm sitting here. It was definitely better than it had any right to be, but that main event bumps it up to a 3.5. Those last two matches, for sure. But that being said, yeah, I want to get to the Twitch thing because
that's actually the first thing I have on my news.
Good.
WWE taking full control over Twitch channels and taking revenue and removing it from wrestlers' guaranteed downsides in their contract.
Fuck you, Junior.
Yeah,
you
this
own
comes actually
because
from,
we own their actual. No, you don't. You don't own government fucking names. You don't. You don't. You don't.
And if anyone wants to know my source, Andrew Yang, who said, hearing from talent that WWE is forcing performers to include Twitch streaming, streaming on Twitch will become a work obligation, and if talent doesn't stream, they will forego earnings, be suspended, or face penalties. Doesn't sound like independent contractors.
First off, they were doing that as a fucking hobby while they were waiting for the next taping, you idiot. And this is a Vince McMahon move. This is a Junior move, by the way. This isn't... They've known about the YouTube and Cameo and Twitch for a couple of years now. They've known. But now, because everyone's making money... we gotta make your money now, goddammit. You're cutting into your wages because people can't spend their money because they're not working.
As if WWE needs more money. Like right now...
You fired up to 100 people. Stars, on-air talent and off-air staff to make more money that you've ever made, more profit that you've ever made in the history of your fucking company, before or after going public. They're not... Call them employees. Tell them they're not allowed to stream.
Well,
Pay your fucking taxes, you fucking evils.
Matty, if he starts calling them employees, he might actually have to start giving them benefits like vacation time and health insurance and maybe actually paying for their hotels and whatnot.
I'm still going to go with that John Oliver piece because that's just where it needs to be at this point.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I just wanted to keep the comeback to one show, but then I realized, you know what? People need me screaming fuck at Vince McMahon Jr. over and over again. More people need to stand up and say, pay your stars or get the fuck out of their way. Hand over your Twitch to kiss my ass. Fuck you, fire me. If I'm anyone, like if I'm Xavier Woods, up, down, everything else, that's pretty much a WWE side thing now instead of like a YouTube channel, independent YouTube channel at this point. It's WWE. Fine. Leave Xavier Woods, fine. But guys like Cesaro, Adam Cole, baby. Prince Pretty. These guys are doing this just off their off time.
And Paige didn't seem too happy about it either.
Can you blame her?
No. Paige and me seem pretty angry about this, as I'm sure a lot of people are angry about this, because, like, this thing you were doing as a side hustle and just something you did because you couldn't do live events anymore, and all of a sudden, here's WWE come here like, hey, give us some of that money, and we're going to take out of your downside.
No, this is very simply, no, that's not what's in our contract. Fuck you, either fuck you, pay me, or fuck you, fire me.
Yeah, apparently, and I've also heard...
This is very simple. If I'm part of that, I'm walking into Triple H's office, I'm saying, you're either going to leave my account alone, or you're going to terminate my contract. Because that's not what we agreed on. I'm not using my WWE name. My likeness is, I own my own likeness. I'm not wearing any WWE merchandise. I'm just doing this as a side hustle. That's it. Fuck you, either fuck you, pay me, or fuck you, fire me. Or fuck you, I quit. Period. There is no handing personal information, personal Twitch information, personal Cameo information. No. There's none of that shit. My shit, my stuff is my stuff. Your shit is your shit. That's where we draw the line.
Especially
if
because
I'm
they're
anyone in WWE, fuck
especially
you,
because,
pay me.
Yeah,
Buy my
especially because
channel. Or get the fuck out of the way. You can tell I'm very passionate about this, but
yeah,
that's how I feel.
Like, this is the thing with WWE. They keep on wanting to, use wrestlers as employees without treating them as employees when it comes to actually giving them benefits that employees would get. They want to have their cake and eat it too with this thing. But eventually that's going to come up and bite them in the ass because, if Bryan wins, then Andrew Yang says he's going to do whatever he can to get legislation passed by talking to some people within the administration to come down to WWE for their heinous practices. Because Andrew Yang, huge wrestling fan, and he definitely has some pull in government offices. So, Vince, if you don't do something, eventually the government will.
Pretty much. And this to me, okay, it's a side hustle. Everyone since the pandemic has had a high side hustle. And I think I'm the only one who didn't have a side hustle during the pandemic, ironically enough. But this, to me, does not make sense. Leave your crew alone. They're independent contractors or they're employees. There's no middle ground and there's no junior-ing about it. Vinny. All right, what's next?
Yeah. The last thing I'll say about it is there's going to come a time where Junior's going to have to pick a lane and stick with it.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for that to happen because I know it's going to cause him to have an aneurysm.
Good. I hope that aneurysm is fucking public.
Yeah, he's going to have a big old freak out. Anyways, NXT is going to be moving from Full Sail to the Performance Center because apparently they want to have some people in the building, and apparently Full Sail's like, nah, fam, not having that. And they apparently not be using Full Sail students for their production staff for quite a long time now. Apparently,
because of obviously the pandemic, and Full Sail is smart about a pandemic apparently.
Yeah, so they're going to be moving their production to the Performance Center, and Triple H and WWE's having up like, oh, this is going to be like something you've never seen before out of NXT, yada yada yada, and stuff like that. So we'll see how things look this Sunday.
Yeah, they're starting on Sunday with Takeover 31. Oh, we will have seen it before. It's just going to be like I hope it'll be like the same Performance Center setup that they did for Raw and SmackDown, but just with NXT colors. And a little darker, not as bright, obviously.
I still have no idea why they're not using the Thunderdome for NXT, because at least for the takeovers, because that's one thing it's definitely missing.
They should have done that during SummerSlam weekend. I don't know. They started with SmackDown, so it only made sense that they did it, and they didn't. We had this discussion last week, but and
I can't remember which journalist said this, but apparently one of the reasons that they're keeping Raw, SmackDown, and NXT taping separate from one another is that they want to keep all the COVID stuff contained. So one area of production gets contained, the other two won't.
Junior's a fucking idiot. There, I said it. Moving on.
Well,
I got nothing. What can I tell you? This is the reason why I took a hiatus, because it's literally me saying Vince McMahon's a fucking idiot on a weekly basis, and it's already getting old, but it's second week.
Well, something that is also getting old, at least to this person, I'm sure, is Tegan Knox suffering a torn ACL for the third year in a row.
I feel for this woman. She, the worst luck. The worst luck.
Yeah, and from what I remember, she was not injury prone while on the indie scene.
What is it? What is it with WWE and some people that it causes allergies to people, and the allergies cause injuries?
Yeah, this just is a freak thing where ever since she's been signed by WWE, she keeps getting injured year in and year out.
Mae Young Classic number 1, she doesn't even make it because of torn ACL. Mae Young Classic number 2, she's injured mid-match. And the match has to be stopped. And in fact, that's what happened with Rhea Ripley. You know, the ripple effect with Rhea Ripley there. Third year, and the third injury, I think they were building her up to be a top contender for the NXT Women's title.
Yeah, definitely is somewhere up there, and she definitely was a popular on the higher end of things, and she was definitely being pushed as such. She was on pay-per-view.
My heart honestly breaks for her. It really does. And it sucks. I mean, what can I tell you? It's an injury. I've busted my knee before. It sucks. It hurts. It's a long time.
Yeah, and now I'm worried, like, if she's ever going to get any sort of main event treatment after 3 injuries. They're exactly the same. In fact, I'm wondering if she's going to be able to wrestle again.
Jesus, that's scary enough right there.
Yeah, because a third torn ACL, that's going to be tough to get cleared.
Yeah, if I'm WWE's doctors, I'm like, okay, let's see what happens, but you're done. You're toast by that point. And that sucks. I don't want to say it. I really don't, but it might be that case, and it sucks to say it.
Moving on to another thing that sucks. James Storm almost debuted for WWE.
How? This was pre-pandemic. The papers were all but signed, and then the pandemic happened.
Yeah, apparently he just wanted to finish up dropping the tag belts in NWA. Then the pandemic started, so he couldn't drop the tag belts, so he couldn't go to WWE.
We were this close to beer money in WWE, folks. This close. Just
2020!
Fuck.
Also a quote from the Retribution members, all of them, because they're all been put under quarantine until next week.
Pretty much. Oh, bad luck, huh, Vinny? Ah, Junior.
This is just a cursed angle. This is a cursed angle. That's what this is.
The whole damn thing is cursed. And at this point, I think it's a squash match, and then to just repackage everybody at this point. This is a mulligan. This will go down as one of those lost stories that could have been something. Then it just drop it. Though then again, Jake Hoggins, the only good parts of Retribution are on Twitter. That is true. The Twitter game is strong with that crew. It is.
That's because they're probably thinking of their own stuff while tweeting and not having to rehash stuff approved by Vince McMahon.
Pretty much. And Devin and Greg, you mean Metribution? Yeah, true, but here's the thing. You know, at this point, we may as well bring it up because it's not going to get over anyway. And 2, Devin and Greg, beer money, uplift, If you got to do beer money, you got to do it right. Beer money!
He's from the country. He's from the country. He's from the city. From the city. Got your money.
Oh, fair enough. All right. I did the thing and he did the singing. All right, cool. All right, what else?
Well, as on this day, Friday, October 2nd, we are celebrating the official 1-year anniversary of All Elite Wrestling's debut on TNT with Dynamite!
They're gonna make the big official celebration next week with Chris Jericho celebrating 30 years, which that's kayfabe, but still, who cares? Yay!
Yes, this is really good. An alternative to WWE has been on national television on a major network for a year now. That's fantastic. I love that. Especially because I saw so many motherfuckers say that this show will not last 6 months. Well, joke's on you. This still got 2.5 years left on their contract, bitches.
And they're successful. Like, by all metrics, they're doing great. Like, yeah, okay. Is 600 to 800 to 900,000 people a week may not sound like much, but look, they're still one of TNT's biggest shows, A. and B, that's pretty goddamn successful. That's more successful than Impact on its best day.
Now, Impact on its best day, back in their day, was doing 1.3 million on a regular basis.
Okay, fair
1.3,
enough.
1.4. Which, by the way, Impact on their best day is almost as is getting close to WWE on their worst days, because WWE is doing 1.6s on a regular basis now.
Jesus. Youch.
Imagine going back 10 years and telling somebody who watches Raw, yeah, in the not too distant future, WWE is going to be doing your Impact level numbers.
You would have told us that time we would have laughed you out of the damn building. We would have laughed at your face.
And yet, 10 years later, here we are.
Because we thought WWE was bulletproof when it comes to ratings. Not anymore. Junior's testing that theory, I'll tell you that much. Holy
it's weird. Like,
shit.
10 years ago, they were doing like 4 million people on a regular.
They were doing 4 million easily.
And then it dropped to 3 million. And then it dropped to 2 million. Now it's dropping below 2 million. This is madness. This is WWE Monday Night Raw. This is the show that killed Nitro. How is this the show that killed Nitro?
Dude, Nitro killed Nitro. Let's be honest.
Yes, but so did Raw. Like, could you imagine, like, thinking that this is the show that put a gargantuan company out of business, turning into that? Does that look like the show that won the ratings war? That created stars? That created literal movie stars? That's what that show used to be.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that every week now? God damn it. Let's move on to... Oh, no, my next point, god damn it. I thought I was moving on to something positive, but then I looked at my next note.
Joey Ryan.
No, that's much later on. That's on a different
Good.
part of the show.
That's good. What is worse?
This is still not good. And that was, appearing on Dynamite alongside Miro, was the biggest heel in competitive video gaming, Billy Mitchell.
Tony Khan, what the fuck were you thinking approving that?
According to someone on Twitter, apparently Billy Mitchell is local to the area, the sort of Jacksonville area.
Yeah.
So it might have been just sort of, hey, here's an easy celebrity who's in the area. Let's try to get him. You know, gaming dude. It's just that, you know, Billy Mitchell is also a notorious video game cheater. Really bad.
Notorious as in he's cheated and he sued people trying to call him out for his cheating. No, legit. He has sued people. He has sued Twin Galaxies, which is like which is recognized by Guinness World Records as like the governing body when it comes to video arcade high score world records. And Billy Mitchell said, well, I did it. And it turns out his stuff, he was using stuff that it was not recognized as legal by Twin Galaxies. And he threw a shit fit.
Emulator. He was using emulated footage when, for the record, he was trying to go for, you cannot use emulated footage. You have to use official arcade cabinets. You fuck.
He sued people. And if you watch King of the King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, he's been a fuck for decades. So, no, people are going to wonder why a particular thing is on my losers list. Guilt by association. You did something you done fucked up.
One thing that AEW did not fuck up on is building to next week's show, because we have 3 things to look forward to. First up, next week, Brody Lee versus Cody in a dog collar match for the TNT title.
Promos in third seg, by the way, so don't worry about that. Or the end of that promo, anyway.
We're also getting FTR versus TH2.
Which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, they're 20-minute brush with greatness.
Yes. Yes.
And we're also getting Chris Jericho and Mr. Hagar versus Luther and Serpentico.
That is going to be a good thing to watch.
And Serpentico did a social media post just a couple days ago talking about how if he was actually going to retire due to the pandemic, retire from wrestling. But then he joined AEW, and that's kept him going, which is great.
Hey, full-time a job during a pandemic is not something to laugh at. That's good.
And I'm glad that, and this isn't the first time AEW saved people from losing their careers. I mean, Eddie Kingston was selling his ring gear to pay for bills because, he was part of NWA. They weren't running shows. So seemed like he was contemplating retirement as well. And then the TNT Open Challenge happened with Cody. Then he impressed the higher-ups. He got signed. And now here he is on Dynamite every week.
And knocking out banger promos on being the elite for one thing, and killer matches like the one last week. This guy is an asset.
And this is one thing I love about AEW is the fact that they do the thing that Vince says he does. Vince always says that he gives people opportunities to succeed. No, you don't. No. AEW's been doing that.
You just give them TV time with rules and regulations. What AEW does is give people opportunity. Raw, unabashed, here's your 10 minutes, prove it.
Whereas in WWE land, it's, all right, here's your script, don't suck. And you just have to just go by and toe the company line for every tiny little thing. Whereas for AEW, just, all right, what do you want to do for this segment? What would your character do? It feels like really just what wrestling should be. Just, all right, if you have a creative idea, take it to Tony Khan, because that's what best friends did. They're like, hey, Tony, can we have Trent's mom drive us to the ring? Yeah, cool, yeah, cool, yeah. That was his reaction. I guarantee you would not get that reaction from Vince McMahon.
No, with Vince, in WWE, you got to talk to one guy, then talk to another guy, you got to get that approved. Corporate has to say this, and then Vince has to say, and Vince has to rip up the script and say, fuck you to everything, and they'll be my way, goddammit.
Then if Vince doesn't get it, it doesn't happen. Fucked. Whereas Tony Khan knows that he doesn't have to get it. He's just like, all right, that's your creative idea. Let's try it out. Let's see if it works. And if it works, they go with it. If it doesn't work, then they either tweak it or they drop it. I love it.
Dark Order, perfect example of that. But we could go on, but we got to move on here. But yeah, perfect example of that. It is the Dark Order.
And one thing
our boys, they flopped hard in the first half of that year, but they blossomed. And you know what? It would not surprise me to see Evil Uno and Stu Grayson as tag team champions by the end of this year or beginning of next.
That'd be great. And what a turnaround that would be. I would love it. One thing I'm also loving is that it seems that AEW might be building up towards a potential MJF-Sammy Guevara feud.
Yes, please. That is all I'm going to say. Because MJF's a good promo. But I think Sammy Guevara is underrated on the stick.
It's been a long, long time since I've seen Sammy as a babyface anywhere, really.
I don't know if I would... I don't know where they're going with this. Obviously, MJF would be a heel, but... I don't know where they're going. Honestly, I don't know where they're going with it, but I'm interested in the fallout, so to speak. The promos are going to be excellent. I know that. I don't have to worry about that. I'm just looking forward to the promos.
Oh, hell yeah. And Brit Baker squashed Red Velvet in her return match after beating her with the Seth Rollins-style stomp to the face. She also locked in the good old lockjaw and got some good old-fashioned classic heel heat.
You know what? She's a little rusty. I'm pretty sure she would tell you that. She looked a little rusty, but you know what? It's good to have her back.
That it is. And we also saw Mox and Butch put on a relatively good matchup for the world title. Nice thing to hold people over until, good old Lance Archer is all nice and healthy and ready to wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Because here's the unfortunate part. That match was supposed to happen next week. Obviously, that's been canceled for obvious reasons. But Lance Archer versus Mox is pay-per-view quality. I think keep that for the pay-per-view. Give Lance all the opportunity to recover, get the virus completely out of his system, so we could focus on two guys beating the crap out of each other. Put that shit on pay-per-view.
I'm not sure if they want to wait until November for that match, but we'll see.
They have time. It would give them time to build it up. That's all I'm saying.
So, Matty, do you remember back in June when Zicky Dice requested his release from NWA?
You mean 10 years ago? Yeah. What happened to that?
Well, in the past week, it's been announced that Zicky Dice was finally not allowed his release from NWA. They finally responded to that and did not allow him to be released. So I guess he's still their television champion. And they also announced on their social media that NWA Power will return soon.
Eventually.
That's actually what I have written on my notes. NWA Power returning. ... Eventually. ...
And I read that. I'm like, all right, good luck, pal.
You have a date? If you don't have a date, then would like eventually
that it's
some
not
notice.
an announcement, it's a teaser. That's all it is.
Also, I'd like to talk about a wrestling game coming out, I would say, within the next year or two, called The Wrestling Code.
Ooh.
It's going to be on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. And I'd like to read for you the roster.
Okay.
Alex Shelley, Anthony Green, Bear Bronson, Beer Save Bruiser, Brandon and Brent Tate of The Boys, a.k.a. the Tate Twins, Brian Cage, Brian Malonis, Bull Dempsey, Cabana Mandan, Caprice Coleman, Cheeseburger, Chris Voros of the Voros Twins, Dan Maff, David Mercury, Bear Boulder, EC3, Eli, Drake, Elijah Burke, Enzo, Facade, Gregory Iron, Grim of Grimm's Toy Show, Jay Lion.
All right, well, you
Jason
cut off
Cade.
for a second. You cut off when you said Grim of Grimm's Toy Show.
Yep, and then following that, Jay Lion, Jason Cade, Jeff Cobb, Jonathan Gresham, JTG, Ken Shamrock, Kenny King, Kevin Riley, aka Alex Riley, Congo Kong, Connor of the Ascension, Leon Scott, Leo Rush, Lloyd NOI, LSG, Luigi Primo, The Blueprint, Matt Morgan,
Nice.
Matt Seidel, Matt Taven, Midas Black. Here's a name some of you may know, a real blast from the past, a legend of independent professional wrestling, one of the greatest world champions in CZW history, Sick Nick Mondo!
Nice.
O'Shea Edwards, by the way, if you have Sick Nick Mondo, please find a way to include Last Resort. I know that's expensive, but please do it.
If you
O'Shea
can't
Edwards.
do it legally, do it in a way like you were able to do it in the PS3. We could do custom soundtracks and custom entrances. That'd be great.
Oh, yes. O'Shea Edwards, Patrick Voros, PJ Black, the Canadian Destroyer, P.D. Williams, the whole fucking show, Boberts Van Daminator, Sifa Fatu, Shad Gaspard, Sahim Ali, Sean Donovan, Timothy Lou Retton, Victor Benjamin, Victor of the Ascension, White Mike of the Gymnasty Boys, Zach Gowen, Zicky Dice, that covers the male roster. The women's roster includes Alex Gracia, Alpha Female, Ashley Vox, Danny Jordan, Delomi Exo, Gabby Ortiz, Holodead, Eve Alice, Killer Kelly, Lady Frost, Lindsay Snow, O.D.B., Shaza McKenzie, Solo Darling, Ty Conti, Thunder Rosa, and Willow Nightingale.
That is a roster. Also, Jeff Cobb getting busy in the video game world. Retromania Wrestling and this game? Solid.
And you might recognize some of the NPCs.
Yeah.
Referees, we have Kevin Quinn and Brian Hebner. And as the ring announcer for this game, he is one of the king of interviews. He is Chris Van Vliet.
This game, if this game gets off the ground, it gets enough attention, that might be a sleeper hit.
Yeah, they already have screenshots of wrestlers. They have screenshots of Alex Gracia and one of the other wrestlers already made. So they're already on their way. I would expect this to be out in the next 2 years. And we already have some game modes announced. We have Gauntlet Match, Special Referee, Slobber Knocker, Lumberjack, First Blood, I Quit, Inferno, Buried Alive, Strap Match, Ambulance, TLC, Hardcore, and many more.
All right.
We also have an online mode creation suite including wrestlers and arenas, including barbed wire ropes. As for arenas in the game, they'll feature a mix of stadium, high school gyms, and baseball fields, backstage areas, plus a cruise ship and a backyard.
Cruise ship. I see where you're going with that.
Yep. All this info is courtesy of the SmackDownHotel.com, which has just always a boatload of information on wrestling video games. So yeah, this is definitely looking to be, I would say, alongside the AEW video game, definitely.
Actually, before we continue, before we get to the emails and comments, Reverend, you came in just in time. You're an hour late, dude. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately for you, sorry for you.
Yeah, I made that. That was one of the changes I made with the Wrestle Cast, dude. Don't worry about it. You'll get used to it. I'm still getting used to it.
But yeah, between this and whatever the AEW video games can have, I'm looking forward to seeing some nice competition in the wrestling video game world. Something we haven't had in quite some time.
Evil Reverend. I said I'm just in here. Just time to hear the roster. I know I'm late. Blame work. Okay, blame work then. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Anyway.
So, Matt, are you looking forward to these releases?
Release them. Put them in a physical thing, a download thing. I don't care. Yeah, interest peaked, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just so excited because, like I said, we have not had competition this good in a long time when it comes to wrestling video games.
We haven't had wrestling video games this good in over a decade.
Outside of Fire Pro, really?
I mean, take away Fire Pro. Think about it. We haven't had a good wrestling game in a decade and a half. Fire Pro Wrestling world notwithstanding.
It's been a long time since we've had like any sort of real non-WWE stuff. Yeah. The last time a non-WWE console video game came out, aside from Fire Pro, was AAA Heroes Del Ring, and that was back in 2010.
Nothing else to add there.
Yeah, that was, oh my god, that's such a long time ago. Jesus
No,
Christ.
Jay Coggins, Smash Bros. Ultimate has 2 wrestlers in it, so it's the best wrestling game I've ever played.
Yeah, yes, Lucha Pikachu and Incineroar.
Yeah. And they got the ring from Punch-Out. They do. Hey, you know what? I know it's a Capcom property, but I would definitely play a remake of Saturday Night Slam Masters.
Capcom's been on a roll these past several years. I mean, between the Resident Evil remakes and Resident Evil 7, which, by the way, Resident Evil 7 is the best Resident Evil game ever made. Fight me!
I'm not, because I'm not a horror game guy. So he's over there at TWK Official. At him, not us. Anyway. Shall we do
Matty
the
Jay,
comments,
you will
sir?
play a Resident Evil game. If it's the last thing I do with my dying breath, Matty Jay, I will get you to play Resident Evil 7 all the way through.
No, you won't. Dude, don't force video games on people, because you know what happens when you force video games on people, on guys like me? We want to play them even less.
Oh, trust me, you'll want to play this one.
I won't want to play it. That's the point. Don't you get the point I'm trying to make? You're trying to force a game on me, and I'm saying no. What do you think is going to happen? I'm just going to keep saying no until I stave you.
Evil Rev wants you to play it?
The answer is no, folks. Just don't force it, because it's peer pressure, and I do not respond to peer pressure.
We're not peer pressuring you. We're just saying you're going to want to do it.
Just because people have been clamoring for it anyway. Dave!
What?
Good. Time. You've talked too much, man. Time for the emails and comments of the week. You can send out the WrestleCast at gmail.com. I know, French, before we do the thing, and I know it's been a while, folks, if it keeps going to be just one email, we might have to scrap the segment. So If you want the segment to stay, send them. Because I don't want to say no to French Otaku. Oh, what did I say? Hey, T-Dub, it's been a while. Do you need some time to warm up?
Here we go. This email is brought to you by French Otaku.
Nice. We begin with French Otaku as always. Ricky Stark's Fiend kicks Ricky Stark's Fiend kicks in. The revolution is televised. I can't play it because copyright stuff. Lemmy ripped off his head. I'm not going to read the storyline stuff, folks. I'm not. I mean, we got to move on. Hello, Wrestle Cast. First of all, good to see you back in action after that long time off. And to be fair, you haven't missed much when it comes to WWE. I've talked about NXT Takeover I talk about NXT Takeover right now, but I don't know. Pretty much don't care about this pay-per-view. Yes, I said it. I did watch Night of Champions, and it was good, but the build-up was shit for the most part. Let's talk about the highlights from that time off, mostly WWE and AEW. Well, hey, let's play catch-up. Why not? AEW, after that disaster that was All Out, seriously, Matt, why did you have to continue that, or after that horrific bump? Well, they got their shit together. There's still flaws. The women's division lacks potential challengers, even with Thunder Rosa, which is a good supplement to include NWA. However, the rest was pretty good in terms of development, seeing the descent of the Young Bucks towards a heel turn, Cody showing a darker side of his character, Eddie Kingston being gold on the mic, and Miro, the best man, our bay and spiritual animal doing what he does best. When you have Billy Mitchell as a cameo, you are a certified winner. He doesn't know, doesn't he? Oh, this is awkward.
French! No!
Oh, boy.
No!
Yeah, this is...
No!
No, T-Dub, I got this. French?
Google that fucker. You should always just Google that fucker.
And that came off because I have to prepare. I hate having to do buns during the freaking segment because I have to put stuff
Google that fucker. You should always just Google that fucker.
There we go. All right. French? That's not a winner. That's just Billy Mitchell. That's just feeding Billy Mitchell's ego. Not cool.
Yeah, you just Google that fucker. Google nice and softly.
Don't, dude. I'm gonna stop you right there, dude. It's bad enough I gave you. Do you want to piss off easy?
Was that an easy thing?
Joe Bob Briggs. That's his
didn't
boy.
recognize the voice. Did not recognize the voice.
Yeah, that's from the last drive-in, which ironically turned into a series on Shudder. Cool stuff. Anyway, actually, Hell Comes for Frogtown was one of the movies he covered this past season. No joke.
Good old Rodney the Piper.
Yipper. Also, imagine a team man. Becky, Silas Young, if he still wrestles, and Miro. That's a Chikara level of a trio. Jeez, how long have you been out there, French Otaku?
Well, this thing about Chikara, turns out their wrestle factory was full of abusers, and they had to shut the whole company down.
Yeah. See, this is why I was kind of worried about bringing back this show. There's going to be some awkwardness. There was going to be some awkwardness. I knew there was going to be some awkwardness.
Yeah, I guess some people weren't exactly in the bubble.
You know, I've stepped out of the bubble. I was just watching AEW and look at the world burn. I'm like, oh, good, glad I got out of that shithole for a while. Anyway, WWE. Oh boy, it's bad when this company manages to make NXT look boring and have a monopoly on their wrestlers, especially when it comes to Twitch. Yeah, I'm not going to read that part. He says, yeah, he's pretty much saying the same thing we're saying here. I did enjoy Granted, in terms of wrestling, I did enjoy Joey Bailey's betrayal against Sasha Banks and Roman Reigns' heel run with Paulie dangerously as his advisor, and the beatdown he gave to Jay. Ouch! Do not fuck with the tribal chief. But on Raw, outside of Drew being good with what he got, it's time to talk about the mess that was Retribution. Well, that's the whole I would skip this, but I gotta read this. Don't mind the fact that it reminds me of a recent riots that's happened in the U.S. I'm not going to talk about that in length to avoid any clash. The concept of revengeful employees being fired unjustly during the pandemic has its potential until they reveal the new names. Mace, Slapjack, or the act of ejaculating on one's hand and then slapping another one person in the face. That's the definition, folks. He's not kidding. T-Bar, more like Teabag, Retaliation, and Shatter. Screw this. I call this by their wrestling names. Steel Madden, Shane Thorne, Dominic Dijakovic, Mia Yim, and Mercedes Martinez. Also, Chelsea Green and Vanessa Bourne were involved at first. They look horrible. If Ross Fidel was there, he'd have torn them a new one in terms of stupidity. And yes, before you slap me in the face, I'm aware he took some time off to deal with his mental issues. Get well soon, King. Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. I really do hope that
there's a part. I'm pretty sure there's a part of him that's like, oh, one episode. Just give me one. Give me one so I can laugh at him. But you know what? I think the fact that he's exercising restraint. Good on him. That's all I'm going to say. Good on him.
That, once he returns, he's back to 100%. And I think that staying away from WWE is probably the best case for him. That's the best solution.
Absolutely. That's why like the first show I've watched, WWE show I've watched since that In Your House show was Clash of Champions. And I do not plan on watching either Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. I'm not changing that habit, folks. If you want my opinion, I'll watch the YouTube video if there is one. That's it. That's all you're getting.
By the way, a tweet from AEW 1 hour ago, October 14th. Jon Moxley defending the world title against Lance Archer.
All right, 1 week later. Fair enough. But when you broke Tom from Cultaholic in anger, you know you messed up. Thanks, Vince. You sack of shit. Yes, WB was officially the worst promotion of 2020. There is no excuse. That was short. That was a short one, but for some info, I'm doing fine when it comes to the pandemic. I'll come back next time, and as always, stay safe. You too as well. That's all I'm going to say there. There we go. But yeah, yeah, this is going to be awkward telling people that literal promotions have shut down. 2020 is a bitch. No, it's a dick. No, wait. This is 2020. No, it's a bitch. Those are your emails and comments of the week. You can send them at thewrestlecast@gmail.com. We shall return with our thoughts on the Takeover card. Yes, there's a Takeover card. Last minute. Vince McMahon meddling. I don't think it's even executive meddling. It's just junior meddling right now. We'll be back.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I want to know one thing.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
Well, the Rock's... It doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
This is WMOB Mobile. 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
Yeah, I'm shocked too.
And Cody, that psychological injury that he alluded to may be deeper than we thought.
No, as in no regrets. No, as in no looking back. We enter much different than we leave. TNT title, dog collar match next week. I accept.
Wow. Emphatically.
Uh-oh, and Mr. Brody Lee charging.
Wait a minute, look at this. Brody Lee.
Not wait until next week. Cody and Brody Lee teeing off on one another.
Oh, let him go. Let them go. Don't get in the middle of these guys. Let them go. And what bad blood, what the main event we're going to have next week. But this is every hand on deck here.
And Cody broke free.
Yeah, I know that's Saturday night's all right for fighting, and the fight will happen on Wednesday. But come on, it just makes sense after that brawl. Well, yeah, Cody, as mentioned, Cody versus Brody Lee, TNT title dog collar match. There will be blood on TNT. Call it a hunch. It's old school wrestling, and this is Cody. That being said, Jay Coggins honestly, he said he honestly healed the Bucks heel turn is kind of leaving me cold. I get
what I really meant to say. I'm sorry for the way I am. Never meant to be so cold. Never meant to be so cold.
Nice. Turning around to a Creed reference, I think.
No.
No,
that was crossfade.
Thank you.
Crossfade.
Again, I'm not. I'm that. Anyway. Welcome back to the Wrestle Cast. Matty Jay, TWK here with you. Twitch.tv/RVT Entertainment. We're on Podomatic, YouTube, and Spotify. Pretty much, yeah. TNT next week. TNT title next week. The card you announced it at the beginning there. We got about 10 minutes, so we're going to move right through this real quick. NXT Takeover 31. No original name here. This will be at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. This will be behind closed doors, closed set, all that stuff. Matches are as follows. Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Heavyweight Championship. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae for the NXT Women's Championship. Why am I saying those two together? Because I think the power couple is going to win those straps. I'm calling LeRae and Johnny Gargano.
Team Wrestling, the wrestling family, if you will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have Kushida versus the Velveteen Dream. Kushida to win.
Kushida, if you're to break his legs, no one will complain. Literally,
hey,
nobody.
Look. You're a technical guy. You can say, well, I applied the move correctly. It just popped. I don't know what to tell you. It happened.
Accidents happen all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody will be wiser. It's just between you, me, and the horse.
Who's the horse in this scenario?
Triple H's nose.
Look, you got to keep. You want to keep Velveteen Dream employed, so until he fucks up so hard that he, that you have no voice. That's fair enough, but make him eat shit. Kushida to win. at the very least. I think we'll be happy. I think we'll be happy with Kushida moving up the card and going for the North American title if we have to at this point.
Kushida definitely deserves better. I mean, he's been basically doing nothing since he's been signed. He's basically been doing nothing since he's been signed. What the fuck? This is a huge waste opportunity with this guy.
That's junior for you right there. That's junior for you right there. But hey, a win over Velveteen Dream and like it would, you know, keeping it within the bubble and nothing's going on and nothing hurts. A win over Velveteen Dream is still kind of a big deal, at least in the WWE kayfabe sense of it. But in our sense, dude, Velveteen Dream beats Kushida, we riot. Or, you know, we virtual riot, I guess.
Yeah, because, you know, can't really go into the Performance Center anyways. But my point is, when Kushida was first signed,
people have tried. There's this one fucking idiot that still wants to try because he wants to be a wrestler. It turns out he's not, and he's a nut job, but, you know.
But yeah, my point is, when Kushida was first signed, I expected him to be, at this point, number one contender or NXT champion, somewhere around that.
You would think he'd be holding out to at least the North American title by now.
But you
would think he'd have a championship.
But there have been stretches of weeks that have gone by where he's just not on television, like weeks and weeks, and he's not even featured. And he's Kushida. He's fucking Kushida. He was the ace of New Japan's junior heavyweight division.
Jay Coggin's trying to throw the excuse of, well, he did have that one match with Walter. True, but, you know, it only takes a couple of weeks to recover from a match with Walter. Okay, 4 weeks if he chops your chest more than once. But, you know.
That match with Walter was pre-pandemic. That's how long ago that one was.
Yeah. So, no, there's no excuse. I think this is executive meddling and Vince McMahon fucking with the NXT. That's all it is, I think, at this point.
Either that or I have no idea what's going on right now because Kushida should be higher up on the card than he is. He should be a title contender by now. This is just madness. How, just.
To be fair, we are in a pandemic era, and I'm not going to throw this as an excuse for WWE, but yeah, I would have thought they put a belt on on Kushida and keep it on him for a while. You know, you would think that. Santos Escobar versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. It'll be for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. It's Escobar is the champion in this equation. And in the main event,
give the belt to Swerve.
Agreed. And in the main event of the evening, Kyle O'Reilly challenges Finn Balor for the NXT Heavyweight Championship of the World. I don't expect Kyle O'Reilly to win, but I expect this to be match of the year for NXT.
It very well could be. They have the talent in there, especially with Kyle O'Reilly. The guy is super underrated as a singles wrestler. I think this is his moment to shine, to show off, hey, this is what I can do as a singles performer. And maybe we'll see him, maybe as North American champion a few months down the line.
I would love nothing more. I think we'd love nothing more. You know, if nothing else, this will be a coming out party for Kyle O'Reilly more than anything else. This will be match of the year NXT, for sure. That's what I expect out of this. Pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, don't matter. That'll be match of the year right there. Or at the very least, candidate. At least for NXT. I don't know about the whole scale of people. There's a few New Japan and AEW matches that are toppers here, but for NXT, that would be their offering, I'm sure. That being said, let's do winners and losers. That time. T-Dub, losers, please.
I have but one loser this week, and that is Joey Ryan for putting out not one, but 2 different lawsuits for his accusers. God fucking damn it. When you thought this motherfucker wouldn't just go the fuck away.
Yeah, I'm going to start with my losers list with exactly that. You know, I never thought I would say this about Joey Ryan, Tita, but the internet is correct. This man has no dick.
Thank you, Bill Murray.
I knew you'd get that. And if you're not laughing, watch Ghostbusters. Do it. It's a good movie. WWE, for the Twitch and Cameo fiasco, you guys are fucking up hard there, guys. Not kidding. And this might be a first for this show, All Elite Wrestling. Why? They put Billy Mitchell on TV and promoted him as a video game maestro.
Well, he's a maestro, all right. Maestro at pulling the strings backstage.
So this is simple. Tony, you fucked up. Period.
We're fucked up. We're fucked up.
This might be this is the first time AEW's on the losers list. I hope it's not. I'm pretty sure it won't be the last, but I hope it is a rare occurrence indeed. That is a rare fumble. That was a rare fuck up. Winners. Do it.
My winner this week is All Elite Wrestling for surviving a full year on TNT officially.
Yeah.
Especially with, as I said, there were a lot of doubters. There's a lot of people who thought that it would be dead in the water after one night. Well, I'd like to tell them they've hit over 1 million viewers on quite the regular basis. They've done it, like, what, 3 times now?
They've done it 3 times. And even if they don't hit it, they're consistently over 750,000 viewers, if not higher, on the average. That's good. Especially for a startup, they will continue to grow, whether Vince McMahon likes it or not. Keep going. Or is that it?
That is it. I like to keep my winners and losers list always very abbreviated, very short, and straight to the point.
WWE gets a winner this week. They had a good show. Clash of Champions. They are fucking up every which way, but Clash of Champions, probably one of the better booked pay-per-views they've had all year. Like outside of WrestleMania. Gotta give a winner to that. Obviously, All Elite Wrestling and Dynamite for the entire year run, despite Vince McMahon trying to fuck it up. That's always a good stuff. Cody for that excellent promo, and of course, Brody Lee for that pull-up brawl. And Ricky Starks and Darby Allin for that banger that opened Dynamite this week. Wow. What a match. Match of the night for that show. All right, that being said, T-Dub, I'm assuming you're working on a new video. Did we cut off here?
Oh, I just had to put some stuff away into place. What was that?
Yeah, you're doing a video?
I'm working on it. Ghost on pre-production with the next video.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, with the next couple weeks, there should be a thingy thing.
You want the video early? Patreon.com/TWK reviews. A buck gets you in there, gets you to watch his YouTube videos a little early. You can always support him on patreon.com/TWK reviews. I have my tip jar, paypal.me/MattyJ316. Donations are optional, but always welcome. Especially since I want to do a couple of cosplays. Not gonna lie, they are expensive. You can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316 and at TWK Official. T-shirts, all that merch, streamlabs.com/RVT Entertainment/merch. Buy the merch. And we have our Discord in the bottom of our page here on the twitch.tv/RVT Entertainment. If you're listening to this, we're live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And emails are due at that time. Merch got to leave it alone at that time. So, that being said, we thank you very much for tuning in and saying hi to us for a little bit. On behalf of everybody here, including my good buddy TWK.
Represents TWK reviews, Tony working gimmick. I totally was not doing a thing to get Matty ready for Resident Evil 7, which he will totally not play within the next year. He totally will not do it.
Good. Conversation's done. Not playing those games. Unless you...
Exactly, you're totally not. You're totally not going to play them.
Do not do the 100%. Whole reverse... Dude, do not do reverse psychology. Don't.
Okay, I won't do reverse psychology.
Damn it. You know what? Same thing applies for the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Fuck you. Pay me. There. My name's Matty Jay, reminding you to help professional wrestling support your independent promotion as soon as possible. We'll talk to you next week, folks. Happy birthday, Dynamite!
Good to be back.
Oh, this ain't gonna be good.